The VAR Show. The one place for your weekly football update.
Hola, very warm welcome to the VAR show, the show which talks about all the various major football leagues in detail. Today we are going to continue a theme of interviews, and we have the former Indian national team player and the 2010 AIFF Player of the Year and the present head coach of Bengaluru United FC, Mr. Gouramangi Singh Moirangthem with us. So without wasting much time, I would like to first thank Gouramangi Singh for coming on the show. Thank you so much and welcome to the show. And I would like to begin by asking you, how are you and what are you doing during this pandemic period?
First of all, Subhaji, thank you so much. I mean, it's pleasure to have for having me here. Well, I think it's not just in India or in Manipur. It's all over the world that problem that we are facing now. And yeah, it's still unusual, but I think we all are adapting to the changes that's happening now. Trying to stay home and following the rules that the governments are setting out, and staying home, staying safe, and trying to study a bit. At the same time, just working out at in my kitchen garden, doing just keeping trying to maintain the basic fitness as well. So at times I try to go out and run, just doing all this little stuff.
So I've been following you on social media and I've seen you that you are involved in a lot of farming and agriculture these days. What all have you cultivated during this time?
So, well, I think, so what happened is all of us are home. I mean, I'm home now, I think, unfortunately, because of her work that my wife is in Delhi. So, that's a little not so happy part. But the rest, my brother's home, my sister's home. So we got a couple of farm, and with my parents, used to take care of it. But now since we all are home, and so just trying to help my siblings as well. Just go out there, and so I think last 2 months it's been very nice that we got to expand a few more beds and growing all sort of the seasonal vegetables that so it's been nice.
So we'll move on to a lighter topic, that is football, in comparison to what's happening in the world. So how has your journey been, from all the way when you started to maybe 2010 when you won the AFF Player of the Year, to maybe when you had a trial with Melbourne which did not be a success, the two now being the coach of Bengaluru United FC. How has the journey been for you?
I won't change a thing. Because at first place, I mean, I play this game. Now I'm a coach, but football is everything for me. I mean, it's the best thing it's the best job in the world. That's what many coaches or many players who play the game used to always say, that football is the best job in the world. And I think I'll go with the word. It's the best job. And but since I've been around in Indian football for the last, I think it's about 20 years. 2000 is when I left home and joined Tata Football Academy. So it's been a roller coaster ride, I would say, in the early formative years of my career. I have to sort of, I think everyone goes through it. I have to struggle a lot. And, once you sort of establish yourself, then by the end of 2006, 7, 8, you sort of establish yourself in the club, then with the national team. And, it's more about to maintain yourself, be around in the top league. And that's all I've been doing. And like I said, again, I won't change a thing. I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to just bring it out or point out one or two things, but yeah, I just love the journey. I mean, it's been amazing. I love all sort of just training with the group, traveling, winning, losing, some important matches. I mean, all the matches are all important, but some some matches are definitely turning points. Some matches are definitely make a big deal.
So, like most of your career you played in the I League, but you also played in the ISL, towards the end with few clubs. On your personal preference, which one do you prefer, I League or the ISL?
I think it would be wrong for me to choose like which league is better, because I have been part of both the league, and before ISL just came 6 years now. Before the ISL, it was I League, so all of us were part of the I League, and it's because of I League today we have ISL. So both the league has contributed so far, like in a big way, and it has been what you call it, the mainstay. I mean, the foundation of the foundation of the football in the country. So maybe I would say I'm fortunate to be part of both the league and be part of some of the top teams in the country, and like one number of league or the cup. And like I said, it would be difficult. I mean, I don't say it's not difficult, but I think it would be unfair, like to put them to choose, because like I said again, it has contributed a lot to the country.
So one part of your career which maybe you would have hoped for more success was like you tried playing abroad, I think with Melbourne Heart in 2010, but for some reason it did not happen. What actually happened? Like, do you look back and do you feel sad that you did not get to experience a foreign football culture or something?
Honestly, it all started, like I said again, like towards 2009, 10. Like we were very busy with the national team, with the league, and it was a season for like 10 months, 11 months. We hardly have any time, even to come home. Like we are always home for like a week or a few days, because the league, even the I League, went on like for 8 months, and in between you have like international friendlies, you have SAF Cup, you have Nehru Cup, you have all those foreign exposures. So it was quite, I would say, those few years were like really, busy schedule, and so then you are right up, like in right up in your game, and you are like consistently performing fine, like good for yourself, like in the league, and you're part of the national team. Your team in the clubs are doing well. I know, so there were like a couple of opportunities. When I say opportunities, like a couple of agents called me and said do you want to try? And I said I would love to, because I think whatever I have to do as an Indian player in the Indian league, I think I have done whatever I have to do. It's more about I have to survive here, doing what I've been doing. But it would be nice to me to get out from here and see that like say for example A League, definitely, which is a much like organized and stronger league. And so I said okay, fine. Like end of the season, I got like maybe a week or two window. This was, I think, I forgot. I think it was sometime in August, July or August in 2010. And even the national team, like before we were preparing for the 2011 Asian Cup, and the team, I think the squad. I remember I spoke to the national team coach. I said I want to do this travel to Melbourne, for even to see how things are there, because I've I sort of already given my word to the agent that who is a good friend of mine in Melbourne. I said I'll just fly down for some time, but the team was already prepared to travel to Portugal for the because we had like 8-9 months long training camp together. Those were the only 8 months where we are contracted with the federation, and all those sorts of things were going on. So I went to Melbourne. Soon after I finished my I League, I went to Melbourne. I was there for a few weeks, and to be honest, I it doesn't make any sense now, but I could have stayed there. I could have stayed there. So I have to make a decision. I have to. Some part of me said that, why don't you just stay there? Because the club offered me, said, yes, there were a lot of technical things you need to consider about your packages, your cost of living, lots sort of thing. But even after everything, I could have stayed, but some part of me, I was like, I wanted to go back. When I say I wanted to go back, it's because when I was in Melbourne, the team is already in Portugal, like, the national team. And we are preparing for a big show, like, which is 2011 Asia Cup. And we worked really hard for a few years before that, before the AFC Challenge Cup, that we qualified through the AFC Challenge Cup. And all my teammates are there in Portugal. And I was like, it was cold, it was raining, like, it was winter in Melbourne. I was like, what I'm doing here, like, I want to be part of the whole process, like, in Melbourne hard. Like, I was there for like, I think 2 or 3 weeks, and the club, the management, the coach, I still remember, like, those few teammates that I met, in the like, 2-3 weeks, they were amazing. I mean, they were like so welcoming, they were so nice, and and everything. I feel so good there as well. But at the same time, I was constantly in touch with my teammates also in the national team. And I remember I was like, okay, fine. I spoke to the coach, national team coach, and I said, like, this is my situation now here. They said they're okay. They don't mind considering for me to stay my for my longer stay in Melbourne. But so these are about then the coach said, what do you think? Like, because what do you think about your playing chances, everything? Because if you don't, because I've been regular with the national team, if I don't play in Melbourne, for example, if I step back, I shouldn't be saying this, but so I said, like, okay, fine. You don't know, like, because football is all about one game at a time. Like, today, if you play well, you're there. If you're not, then you're not there again for the next game. So, but I said, like, I worked so hard to be part of the national team, the whole, like, build up to the Asian Cup, and I was like, I need to go. So I remember I said thank you to the club. I said, like, everything, whatever they have done for me, and whatever reason it was, it's all, all the stories now. But, like, I flown back to Delhi. I just got my visa done, and I think within a few days' time, I think from Delhi I just went to Portugal and just be part of so that was the reason was I wanted to try. I want to know that where I stand. I wanted to know that, like, I've done okay for myself in India League, but I wanted to go out and see that how things are, to try in a different environment. I'm so comfortable in India. I did all these years. Everything is, I know everyone, and here, and the clubs and everything. So the reason was I want to challenge myself. I want to see that where I stand.
So now you are now a coach of Bengaluru United FC. Like, did you always plan into getting into management?
Towards the end of your career, playing career, it was easy, I guess, to get attracted to coaching, because I'm pretty sure the opinion might be differentiate from individuals, because if you want to remain associated with the game, then I think from a player, as you grow older, like, and it's easy, like I said again, to get attracted. But I think, to be honest, I would give, the last part of the credit, like, to Savio Madeira, like, who was like the coach of the national team, who was with me. I played under him when he was a head coach of the national team, and he was an assistant coach to Bob Houghton for like 5-6 years, and we all are together. I had a huge amount of respect for him. But I remember, like I said again, I did my C license, because nowadays it's not about, like, you are a former player, doesn't mean that you can just walk into any club that you can become a coach. No, because you have to do your licenses. So I remember when we were in one of the tour in, I think it was in Portugal. So Savio said, like, hey, so what have you thought about, like, what are you going to do after once you're done you're playing? And it's like, I'm not really, because you're so occupied now, you're part of the national team, everything is going fine for me. Because I think it was good, like, to come out from him, because he himself was a former international, played for the country for many years. Then he became coach, and currently he's the head of coaching education for the AIFF. So coming out from him, I think it was a sort of a wake-up call for me that his question was, you might be doing fine doing other stuff, but after spending so many years as a player, with this game, suddenly for you to go away, I think it's going to be hard. So someone knowing you closely, just think about it. So that's when I said, okay. So I remember, while I'm playing 2004, I did my C license, and 16, I think I did my B license. So good thing was Football Player Association of India, and it, started to organize like C license, because the active players, they cannot just go and attend license courses, because we are busy with our playing careers. And so during the off seasons, only for the active players, they started organizing those courses. And I think for that, credit goes to again the Football Player Association. So I got to attend those courses when I'm free during my off season. So that's how I managed to completed my licenses. Then it was last year, once I'm thought of it done, playing, I said I will stop, because I think it was a phase where I have to decide between are you going to play, or are you going to continue playing, or are you going to coach? So I have to make the decision. Some friends were like, why don't you just continue to play for a couple of years? I think I can play, or you always think that you can play, but I think I still have a couple of years to play. But I said, man, I think because coaching is something that I want to do. So I said, fine, I'll just stick to coaching. Even though I do miss every day, being part of the group training, running, doing the whatever group exercises with the boys. That's something that I miss. Of course, I'm part of the part of a team, but it's a different role and I can't just jump in and say I'm going to be. So it's different, and you miss playing. I think playing is the best. Yeah.
So if you had to describe yourself as a coach, how would you describe yourself?
I don't know, man. Just I think it's been 2 years, probably that I'm more involved with the coaching, because I have just my academy, and I have a couple of coaches working for my academy as well, and and on a official, very serious involvement for coaching involvement. I think probably is last year when I was at Bengaluru United. I mean, too early to say, like you said, that, to explain about coaching, but I love it, definitely. But again, it's not playing. Playing is the best. But after playing, I would say coaching is the closest you can be with the boys, be around with the boys, be in the dressing room. But it's a different role today. My role is very different. But I'm loving it. I mean, like I said again, it was so different when I was playing. Many coaches to say that you will understand once you are on our side. So today I'm learning, because it's not easy, because coming from a playing background again, I want to be fair, and I want to be, if possible, I want to be always black and white with the boys. I know when I was a player, I was always focusing on myself to do better, to stay fit, and what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, my recovery, my rest, and what I'm. So now the same thing, when I know that exactly when I see their face, when I see their body language, every day when they turn up for the training, you can see that literally you can see them. But the thing is, again, football is a squad of 20, 25, 24 players, and you have only 11 to start the game, and you have so everyone wants to play, but I think it's our job to make sure that everyone is fighting for that position. No place or no position is guaranteed in the squad. You have to earn it, and I try to balance that. You have to earn your place. It's not, you can't just walk in. So I think that those are the challenges, I would say. Today, like I said again, I'm not focusing on myself. I'm focusing on the group, and it's 20 odd players, and try to understand what they're thinking. And I know they get upset at times when I'm not playing. I know they get upset sometimes. As a player, their forms are up and down. So literally, for me to say that, how does I feel as a coach, and so I'm literally growing also every day with them. But at the same time, my approach is very different today, like as a player and as a coach. So it's fun when I see them. I think because when they see me also, I have lived the life what they are living now, and trying to help them in the best possible way. And eventually, it's all about winning a football match. So, so just trying every possible way that I can to help them.
So, do you have any coach or coaches from whom you take inspiration?
Coach or coaches?
Yeah, like if you have multiple coaches.
Well, I mean, because nowadays, because of the internet, because of all this, everything is all around you. I mean, because of the day and age that we are in, and I do like watching a lot of coaches, the top coaches we talk about, watching their stories, they talk about their game plan, they talk about their approach and everything. And but eventually, I think, like we always say in football also, you just have to be yourself. I mean, you can always draw the inspiration, you can always learn the information and knowledge from everywhere, from everyone, from the top to the bottom. But after all, I think you have to be yourself. And but since your question about do I have anyone that I look up to? I think from everyone, I would say. When I say everyone, because every coach brings something every day. Even if you watch the post-match or pre-match, even their bites, even after the Premier League or La Liga or even the Indian or the ISL or any coach. So, or even someone just giving some personal interviews, or even you go by the books as well. But like I said again, someone like Xavi yourself. I mean, who I've seen him when I started playing in my first year in 2004. I'm talking about once I passed out from the Tata Football Academy. He was a coach of Sulgaonkor FC then, and someone who's just done with the playing, getting the coaching. To see him transforming, he was a different coach then. I mean, the reputation he has built, those was different. Those years was different, and today he's a head of education again, coaching education for the AIFF. Then I said I worked for 6 years under Bob Houghton, and he was different. I mean, he was just an amazing. He was an institution in himself. So as a player, you look up to those coaches or managers. Those are great personality. More than I'm not getting into the coaching, because everyone, you can't plan and just go to a football match, because things change. The opponent change the way they play, or even your today, if you have an 11 player, might not available for the next game again. So everything, I think, dynamic changed. But what I'm saying is, the coaches that I work under as a football player, I have something. I pick up something or the other from all of them. But because many, I mean, I remember for example Stephen Constantine, when I was in academy, he was the one who took me with the senior team. This was some early 2004 for the World Cup qualifying matches. Though I didn't get to play, but I was part of then those big boys in the country. Just so the way how he handled the dressing room, the way how we look after the young boys, or how we deal with those big boys. So like I said again, some coaches I like Alco Chatori, who was the Kerala Blaster coach then, so I met him when he was in Prayag. His training was great. So different coaches brought different things, and so I think more or less I'm just looking up to all of them. I mean, I'm just trying to remember, all those little things, little tips that it's still in my head from all those coaches.
So, since you have experienced too much, in the Indian football, also in the Asian, do you have any piece of advice for young players who are just starting out?
You mean the players?
Yeah.
Like I said again, I think it applies the same for like I said, I'm just it's the same, I think, for the coach and for the players. Even for the coach, of course, it's different because you're looking after the team. But as a player, like, you have to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. Like, you are just say, depends, but you are in the like academy, or you are even in the club. I'm like, if you're aspiring to be like, reach the top, like, be in the top teams, then as you keep, even in the Indian league, as you keep climbing up, the room for error becomes very narrow there. Like, so you will get one chance. If you do, then you will be there. If you don't do, then the moment you turn, someone will be there to take your place. So I think that's a cutthroat competition as a professional, because the club is paying you, expecting that you'll deliver, or do the job. So I think that's a mindset that I think it's in a good that it's even towards the end of the I-League or even ISL today, everyone knows that they have to look after themselves. The boys, those top 100, 150 boys, they know that they have to be at their best every day or every week. If not, then there's someone just right behind you, like, to take his place. So it's not about. So that's why I said, like, the piece of advice is like, you have to be honest with yourself, and have to be sincere, and don't try to be someone else. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Keep asking questions to yourself. Like they say, finding an answer. Someone asks you a question, and finding an answer at times becomes much easier. But to find questions are much tougher than finding answers. So you need to find questions. Keep asking yourself every day the areas that you can improve. Where are the things that I'm lacking? So you need to keep working on that, and you need to be, just like I said, you need to be yourself. You need to be you. You don't have to be very different, but what you have, and probably I don't have. So it's all the weakness and the strength are different, like, as individuals. So you need to know that, because then so you have to play your game based on your strength. Like, you can't. So you need to. The sooner the better for you to realize that what's your strength and what's your weaknesses. So I think that is something that so I think all depends on, again, the coaches. I think I'm looking for the youth, like, players. The coaches plays a bigger role there. You need to tell the players. You need to be around them. You need to make them understand it. There's one way that you can tell them. The second thing is, like, they need to understand that as well. They need to realize that, like, what's good in there. So, like I said, be honest with yourself. It's not that someone asks you, the coach asks you, the trainer asks you to do a push-up for 10. The repetition, you don't have to do 11. You don't have to do 12. You don't have to do it 8. Just do it 10. So you have to make sure that what you asked to do, just do it. So sometimes just don't play around. Just do it, like, because I'm pretty sure the coach and the manager, they have a plan, and they come there, like, because there's a program. They have a program for a week or for 4 weeks or a month. So just follow that. I think that's the best way, just to be part of the team, part of the process. So yeah, just to be a team player. Again, be honest, be yourself, and just to be a team player.
So on that note, I'll ask you a final question. So it is quite controversial question. Whom do you prefer, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Well, I don't know, man. It's both are, like, probably we will not see someone like them. Like, probably another, I don't know how many decades again. I would go to watch Messi, because I haven't seen him play. I have seen Ronaldo play, but I'm talking about, I've seen Ronaldo play closely a couple of times. I've not seen Messi play, but I want to see. It's amazing to watch him play, right, every day. It's just a magic, like, he's one of, probably once in a century, like, and probably will not have another Messi for the next 100 years. But the thing is, like, I would like to have Ronaldo in the team. When I say Ronaldo in the team, it's because for many reasons. Again, to have him in the team, because I don't know. We don't know. I don't know Ronaldo, like, closely, but it seems like for both the players, if you see now, when I said both the players, they play like 50, 60 games every season for the last almost 10 years, scoring like almost 50, 60. How many goals they score? So a lot of goals every year, and to do that, like, constantly, it's not that they're just gifted, but they are like, they're taking care of them. They're proper, like, they're like thorough professionals. So when I see Messi looks like whatever he does is magic. I would love to watch him. But for Ronaldo, it's not that Messi will not inspire the rest of the team, but Ronaldo, like, he's something that he built himself over the years. The way he is, like, he's athletic, but everything you see, it seems like it doesn't come with him. It's, so he built it, like, whatever he have that over the years. So I mean, to have someone like him, even though people might say he's arrogant, and people might say that he's way too self-centered, way too selfish, but sometimes he has done pretty well, like, in over the 3 league, and that is, I think that's I'm looking from the particular point of view, that Messi, yes, genius. But Ronaldo, again, it seems like he has made himself, like, through hard work and dedication, and so I think to have him in the team would be amazing. Yeah.
So on that note, Gouramangi, thank you so much for talking to me, and I wish you all the best with your coaching career, and I wish you win all the trophies as a coach as you did as a player. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you, and I hope we can talk again soon. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.